What's up? I'm Drew Paul Bell, and today we have a question from our friend Alex Reyes. And he wants to know about internships. He's wondering if I interned while I was in college and if internships pay or not. All right, so in architecture school, I think internships are hugely beneficial. If you have the opportunity to take one, I recommend that you jump at it. 1 hour of practice is worth 4 hours of studying. That means that the time you do in the professional, in the field, is 4 times as much as the time you spend studying and the years that you spend in school. So if you have the opportunity to do it, go for it. Unfortunately, I didn't really have the opportunity to intern most summers, but there was one summer where no internship at like an architecture office came through for me, but what I was able to do was actually work with a friend of mine who ran a contracting business around Atlanta. So what he was doing is he had some clients who they wanted to remodel their basement, or it was two projects where they wanted to remodel their basement and some changes to like the master suite upstairs. And so I helped him out that summer doing actual construction work. That meant I was getting my hands dirty, hanging drywall, knocking down walls, putting up lights, all kinds of things. And I was able to actually get my hands dirty and deal with real construction in a way. I mean, it wasn't building something from the ground up. It was like remodeling and just changing around some walls. In the grand scheme of things, it's kind of minor as far as construction is concerned. But that really, one, boosted my resume, and two, gave me a better experience of like what's actually going on a job site. Because that's the kind of thing that you can't just like learn from a book. You can't. It's hard to like know what it's like, how orders, how instructions kind of get passed out in the morning, and then how you're gonna be maybe working on different things in different parts of the house. But yet you got to be able to communicate and know what the ultimate plan is. There's just a lot of unspoken things that get picked up when you're actually practicing and you're working in it. And that's true whether you're on the job site or if you're in the firm. And that's why internships are so valuable, because they give you that opportunity to see kind of the inner workings and see the things that don't get talked about. Because we, as professionals, I mean, we kind of like, we live our lives and we go through this day-to-day thing. And to us, there's a lot of things that just become second nature to our job. And it's hard to really explain that to somebody in a book or a lecture. As much as we try, right? This is kind of what I try to accomplish with these videos, is try to talk about some of the things that aren't already talked about, that you're not going to already learn from a book or from a class. But nothing is a substitute for like actual experience. So I highly endorse the idea of doing internships if it makes sense to you, given the time restraints that you have with school and the opportunities that you have during the summer. And if you can do co-op, awesome. Like, I think that's a great deal to get class credit for interning. Sounds like a great deal to me. It actually brings me to the next part of your question, which was, are internships paid? I did some research on this, and in the US, I think it is illegal to have an internship that is not paid unless there's some sort of like, there's a couple conditions in which you can do an internship that's not paid. If you're getting school credit, then you are getting value for that internship, and so then legally, like through the Department of Commerce, or I think it's Commerce, maybe Department of Labor, legally it's okay to not pay interns if they are getting school credit, academic credit, or if it's like if the employer, the would-be employer, is taking on like a burden, it's like a net loss, them having that person around, then they don't need to be paid. But for an architectural practice, if you're interning and you're doing productive work, it's kind of illegal if you're not getting paid an internship. And I'm going to include some links down below for you to do a little bit more research on your own, because every situation is different. I don't like just painting this a broad picture, be like, no, it's illegal to not be paid. But I personally know some architects in Atlanta. I know some students, friends of mine, who are working for architects who are not adequately paying them. And you need to be aware of what the laws are and understand the dynamics of the situation. All right, so I'm going to provide in the bottom and the descriptions down below links where you can go to do some more research on this and see for yourself. I hope this helps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.